We are in 2024, and everywhere you turn, you will hear one word: layoff. Google has laid off 800, Meta 1,000, Microsoft 1,900, and other corporate companies are planning to lay off hundreds, maybe even thousands of employees. In this job market, securing a job is as hard as winning the throne. I'm about to show you how to land a job in less than 30 days through one of the hardest parts of the job search process: interviewing. But before continuing, make sure to smash the subscribe button and like button because we are back on YouTube to help you land a job. Let's get it going. Now, you're probably a job seeker who's applied to hundreds of jobs and has barely gotten any interviews. And the interviews you've gotten, you've probably bombed them for a couple of different reasons. Number one, you're nervous. You're nervous because this interview can make or break your lifestyle. Number two, your preparation skills. You ask your connections and friends if they can help you prepare for interviews, but all of them are busy. And lastly, number three, the IDK the questions fallacy, meaning you don't know what questions that the recruiter or hiring manager is going to ask, so you're just saying, F it, I'm just gonna try and see what happens. If you felt any of these, you are not alone. So have millions of unemployed, laid off job seekers who have been searching for jobs for months. However, it doesn't have to be this way. Today, you have so many resources that you can rely on, whether it's articles, free resources, or AI job search tools. And for AI job search tools, you don't need to check out all of them. I tested every AI job search tool that can help you land a job. Some were amazing, some just didn't work. So we developed an AI job search tool that will help you with your interview preparation. Introducing InterviewAI, a software product that helps you master your interviews with the power of AI. Our AI job search tool not only will help predict potential questions you may be asked during your interviews, but also will go through a realistic mock interview through our AI, Iris. How does it work? Let's get into it. First, create an account on Wonsulting AI and go to the InterviewAI tab. After going to the InterviewAI tab, you'll be brought to this page, which will show your progress, interviews you've completed, and interviews you haven't. Now, let's do a mock interview. When you select New Interview, you'll be brought to this page where you will select a job. You can use either Auto Apply AI or manually enter a job. For this example, let's choose Auto Apply and let's select this job. iOS the AI will create interview questions based off the job you selected and will ask you those questions out loud. Let's see how this goes. I'll then answer the question as best as I can using the CAR method: context, action, and result.
Can you tell me about your experience in sales and account management? Specifically, what types of clients have you worked with, and what strategies did you implement to drive sales and meet targets?
I've had sales experience for the past 5 years at companies including Snapchat, Google, Cisco, and Wonsulting. And the types of clients that I've worked with range from small to medium businesses. I've worked on a lot of strategies to implement and drive sales and meet targets, specifically when I was at Google. At Google, I worked with fellow account executives to figure out which verticals and regions we wanted to scale our product to, which was called local services. So how I did this was the following. Number one, I looked at companies that had the most ad spend on our platform for Google Ads. And number two, I reached out directly to the business owners or CEOs from those companies, whether it was through direct emails or through phone calls. I targeted areas that had a very high spend in terms of their geolocation, which we identified as Los Angeles, Austin, and Tennessee. What resulted from this was we were able to convert over 100 clients in a 3-month span, which led to $1 million in ARR in 5 months, when our goal was to get 1 million ARR in a year. After completing the question and selecting Send Answer, look what Iris does.
What specific strategies did you use to convert and retain those clients? How did you build and maintain relationships with them?
That's a great question. It will ask me a follow-up question based on my previous answer. Pretty crazy, huh? I can answer again, or I can stop the interview or skip the question to the next one. Let's skip a couple of questions and go to the last question. I'll then answer the question as best as I can using the CAR method.
Google values innovation and creativity. Can you describe a time when you implemented a unique approach or strategy to achieve a business objective? What was the outcome, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yes, a time when I implemented a unique approach or strategy to achieve a business objective was when I was at Wonsulting. At Wonsulting, one of our business objectives for the year was to reach 1 million followers in 2020. During this time, the pandemic was happening, so we had to pivot our strategy because all of our workshops were in person. So we had to think about, okay, how are we going to do this virtually? So the action steps that I took were the following. Number one, I started something called Wonsulting events, where we brought recruiters and hiring managers to speak about opportunities that they were hiring for. Number two, we then marketed this on our social media platforms to job seekers who were affected by layoffs or being furloughed. And what resulted from this was we were able to not only partner with companies such as Google, Meta, and Lyft, we were able to get almost 10,000 viewers per event, which led to 1 million followers across our social media platforms in less than a year's span. Then Iris asked me one last follow-up question.
Is there a specific industry or vertical that you are particularly interested in working with as an account executive at Google? Can you explain why?
As you can tell, this is like a real-life interview, and we mimicked InterviewAI to do so you can be best prepared when you go into these interviews speaking with recruiters and hiring managers. After finishing the interview, you'll be brought to this screen where you'll be able to see your score in a few minutes. Iris has scored us. Let's see what we got. Iris will score your interviews based on the following. Number one, context. Number two, speech. And lastly, nonverbal cues. And would you look at that? I received a pretty high score, and it looks like the feedback was this. Now you can use that feedback to improve on your interviews and land that next job. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And please try out these AI job search tools. And if you have any questions or feedback, please leave them in the comments and check out these other videos which will help you accelerate your job search. Let's turn you from an underdog into a winner.